Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming.
It's Courtney Fielder, joined here this holiday season with our good friend Jade Eagleson. Jade, I'm so excited to have you part of A Country Christmas.
I'm excited to be here. It's really awesome.
And of course, I don't know about you, but Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. So I'm excited to be chatting with you and our fans to be celebrating the holidays here with us, all about some of our favorites and some great memories too.
Yes, it's going to be a blast.
So starting off here, of course, with favorites, since I mentioned it, Christmas songs. Do you have an all-time favorite that it just doesn't feel like Christmas until you hear that song?
I don't know if I'd even call it a favorite. I mean, it's been my favorite. Every other year it changes, but I'd say like All I Want for Christmas is like that. As soon as you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, it's time. As soon as you hear Mariah Carey going, and you're like, all right, I think Yuletide is here. I mean, I think some people even get a head start on that in like September. I'm like, oh man, but it's good. It's good. It's a good song.
No, it definitely is, and it can't get any better than that song to get you into the Christmas spirit. I know for myself, it always has to be Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, I'll Be Home with Bells On.
That's a great one. Dolly is like one of the queens of Christmas for sure, I think.
I totally agree. And Christmas as well. It can't go without watching some Christmas movies. Now, you got to have at least a couple of those favorites, don't you?
I do. Is it called A Wonderful Life? I think that's the one that you think I'd know the name of it. It's an old movie, but we watch that one every year, and it's just like kind of got that a good message. You think that life's tough or whatever, but you got to be thankful for that's what Christmas is all about, really. It's just being thankful.
It really is. And there's just so many Christmas movies, and you can never go wrong with the classics.
Yeah, 100%.
I know for myself, one of the big ones, for me, it's like one of the ones that we watch every single year in my family, even on like Christmas Eve, is A Christmas Story. Have you ever seen that movie? With the leg lamp?
Is that yeah, he's got the BB gun. Yeah, that 100%. That's a great one.
It really is. And actually, it's kind of crazy too. They're actually selling the house that was inside that movie. It's like so crazy because it's like a whole museum kind of thing. And of course, the iconic leg lamp right in the middle of that window year round.
No way. That's too wild.
Right?
That's amazing.
When it comes to like Christmas decorations for you and your family, do you guys have like a favorite decoration, or does your little guy Levi have a favorite?
I mean, we just started like this year is like the first year he's actually like getting it, which is like a blessing and a curse because like, obviously now he's like, hey, it's Christmas. And we're like, not yet. Like, don't touch any of those things under the tree. But I don't know if he has a favorite thing. My wife, Marina, had a great idea of like letting him pick an ornament every year from the store. And then like kind of saying like Levi age 3 and that kind of thing. I think that was a great idea.
They're saying that Levi's now like getting the whole Christmas spirit kind of thing and like asking if it's Christmas every day. So what is your favorite thing about being a dad now at Christmas time?
I'm so excited to see like him like get into the whole like Christmas spirit because like I think there's like that interim where you're really excited, but now that we're in Nashville and not super close to family, it's a bit tougher. And like it's kind of hard to get into that spirit, especially when it's like there's no snow on the ground. And knock on wood, maybe there's some, but it's really special for me to see him get excited over it and get him into the whole Santa Claus thing. He's really excited that Santa Claus is going to bring him a jumbo crane set. We'll see if it's in Santa's budget, but we'll see. He's excited about that.
For yourself, Christmas growing up, what was one of your all-time favorite things about Christmas time in the Eagleson household?
I mean, we would have like every year we just go like tobogganing. There was a school really close to our like where I grew up. Like it's funny too because the school pops out of nowhere. It's like in the bushes, but there's a huge hill there. Like I'm talking ginormous. So like we try to get all the cousins together, and we try to smash each other up on the way down. No one ever broke anything, so it wasn't that aggressive. But I mean, back then it was intense. But that's something we would do, and normally every year. And then just like Christmas on the farm, you can't really beat that. It's just really, really something special about like the whole Christ story, and just being in a barn, and kind of like it's so weird how it just feels special, like kind of like taking care of all the animals, going to bed, and just kind of being in that moment. It's like it's something special. And we all used to give like extra flakes of hay, or extra alfalfa in there for all the cattle and stuff. So everyone enjoyed Christmas in their own way.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know. In my household too, always for the animals, we always gave them a little something special, like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. So I totally get that.
Yeah, but they're like, all right, I mean, we'll eat it if it's there. I don't think they knew what was going on. But
But you did, right? You're just like, it's a little something special.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, speaking about like Christmas traditions as well, like you mentioned earlier that you and your family let your son go and pick out a little ornament. Do you have any other like traditions that you guys do for Christmas? Or maybe trying something new this year in Nashville?
Yeah, we're trying to like figure it out as we go. Like it's kind of exciting because like we're figuring out like what are our traditions going to be. And it's like one of those things where we're figuring it out. Marina, I think, takes the kick this year because she came up with the whole like Levi getting his own ornament thing. And I'm like, that's actually like great. We're gonna have like, I don't know, hopefully he moves out by like 25, where that's gonna be a lot of ornaments like in excess. I don't know where I'll store those, but it is a great idea for now.
It definitely is. So for yourself too, just looking back on Christmases of the past, growing up, was there like a Christmas that like you got like the ultimate toy that you were looking for, and like what toy was that you got when you were a kid? That like you remember every single Christmas.
I remember one year my Nana got us all like those GT racers. So like kind of almost in Christmas spirit, like we knew what we were getting. Like it was like a year where there's a lot of snow. I don't know if it's the same for you, but I feel like growing up, like there was 80 times more snow than there is now. I mean, hashtag global warming, but it's it was one of those things. Like I remember like that was a great year for snow. We got the GTs, and like I remember just like racing those around all year long after that Christmas. It was a blast.
It's funny that you do mention the snow because, yeah, I think it's maybe because we're like so little and we're just like, this is so much snow and everything. And you're like, it's knee deep snow. And now it's like, yeah, it's not that deep.
Yeah. I mean, like, I still remember like my grandfather would take the tractor, and like there'd be like a mound of snow from the driveway that like went to the top of the trees almost. And like, that's another thing we'd slide down. Not very intelligent of us to do, but we did it anyway. But yeah, like I don't know why. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe the trees were even taller than I thought they were back then, but felt like a lot more.
Christmas as a child is like definitely a magical one. And just to be able to like watch like your little ones and everything. And I know our listeners as well, watching their kids grow and seeing like that Christmas magic in their eyes. Like it just lights up a room, right?
It definitely does. I mean, like I remember just like every year being so special, and I'm sure the same. What was your favorite Christmas present? Do you ever remember
My
like
favorite
what
Christmas,
yours was?
Probably was, Kate, this is probably going to date me a bit, but Light Bright was like the biggest craze when I was a kid. And I got a Light Bright one year for Christmas, and I was just so pumped about it. Lost all the pegs within like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember you build your own picture, and
Exactly.
I remember those.
Yeah, that is probably like we got like a Furby. I got a Furby as well when like Furbies first came out. So probably annoyed my parents with that more than anything.
Yeah, speaking of Christmas, like I used to think Furbies were, the best until I saw Gremlins, and I was terrified of them. I don't know if you had the same experience, but I saw like those things look like Furbies, and then they turn into like psychopaths. So I remember like I think my sister might have even had a Furby or something. I was just like, I'm not going anywhere near that thing. So
Especially when they just like randomly start talking to you, like in the middle of the night, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is too funny. Well, thinking again here back to the past of Christmas as a child. So the night before, like on Christmas Eve, what kind of stuff would you put out for Santa as a kid?
I think we just did like the milk and cookies,
Yeah.
and it was like always tempting because like I don't know, like growing up in the country, like we all milk was like gold. So like anytime you saw milk, like I would drink so much milk, and it's I think there's one year I drank that milk, but for the most part it was always milk and cookies. The milk certainly did not go to waste. Santa loved it.
Oh, that's awesome. What type of, like, speaking about cookies here, do you have like a favorite Christmas cookie or like a favorite Christmas baking or something like that?
I'm trying to think. I think that like just a regular chocolate chip cookie is my thing. I don't get too fancy as far as cookies go, but yeah, my mom always would make up like some sort of Christmas cookie. Do you know those they don't like they have pictures of Santa on them, I think. And like
Oh,
reindeer.
yeah. I was talking about like the little Pillsbury ones or whatever. Is that the ones?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. Yeah, so she'd make those and those were pretty good. But you can't beat a chocolate chip cookie.
exactly. You can never go wrong. It's a Christmas classic, right? Like it's one of Santa's like top 10 favorites.
Exactly.
Oh, that's fantastic. And of course, as well, this one is a little controversial when it comes to Christmas dinner because people are very vocal on it. Do you have Christmas ham? Do you have Christmas turkey? Or do you do something completely different?
Oh, that's tough. I'll ask you, what do you do?
So it's been bounced back and forth for my family. Like sometimes we'll do a ham, sometimes we'll do a turkey. So what about
Yeah.
you?
I honestly don't know. I feel like I love ham, like to the point where like every morning I cook ham and eggs for breakfast for Levi, and like now Marina's kind of like she likes the egg still, but she's kind of over the ham side of things. So like I almost cook it because I know I'm gonna get extra. I'm like I made you this, but my intentions are not pure. I'm gonna eat that ham. So I don't know. I'd say maybe the ham, but I also like throwing a bird in the oven too. So it's tough. I gotta still say ham, but let's go with the ham.
There you go. So then, question for you: what is your go-to sides then for Christmas? Because everybody always has like different ones. Is there one that's like stands out a little bit? Like if you brought it to somebody's house, they'd be like, "What is this?"
There's always that like one aunt that would bring. It was like almost a Jello, and it would have like just nonsense in it. Like it wasn't marshmallows. It wasn't anything that I've ever seen on like a grocery store shelf in my life. Like those were always frightening. But like as a side, like here's where you got me is that without the turkey, there's no stuffing. That sucks. But yeah, I'd say stuffing, or garlic mashed potatoes. I'm a sucker for those.
There you go. I'm glad that you mentioned the Jello thing. It made me instantly start thinking of that movie scene from National Lampoon's Christmas, where like the aunt puts the cat food or something like that inside the Jello mold.
Yeah, see, it's always the ant. I swear to God, it is. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but it is always the ant. And I don't know if it's like she wants us kids to suffer or what it is. Maybe that she has good intentions, but I don't know what it is. But it's always like one ant that's just experimenting in the kitchen, and yeah, we suffer for it.
It's the lasting impressions, I think, is what they're going for.
Yeah, or the bread. It's either like a Jello thing, or it's like some sort of bread with like all these different things in it, and it never gets eaten. You get like there's enough for like one slice, like each adult humors whoever brought the bread, and
Yeah.
then none of the kids touch it. They're like, no, we're not going near this thing.
That's too funny. So for you then, Jade, what does Christmas mean to you? I know it's a pretty big question because it could go anyway.
Yeah, I think it's like for me, I'm a religious man. I believe in Jesus, and for me, this time of year is really important to honor that and to remember Christ's birth. But I also enjoy some of the other festivities around that, and I think it's a great time of year to have family come over and just like celebrate not only the birth of Christ, but just being together as a family, and how lucky we are to be in, you know, a world or a part of the world that, you know, allows us to be able to do that. So for me, it's just being really thankful. I think it's that time of year where, you know, everyone's, you know, giving what they can, you know, making sure you're going out and donating to, you know, people that, you know, maybe don't have as much or struggling. It's a really good time to reflect on that and to help people. And that's why it's so important.
I totally agree. And, you know, this time of season, like you said, the giving and like the way that our communities and rural areas, the prairies and everything, their hearts just open so much, from local toy drives to food drives for food banks and everything. Like it takes a big village of a community of people to do all this.
Yeah. I mean, as a Christian, I believe, like, no matter what you believe in at this time of year, not like all religions, all shapes, walks of earth, you know, come together, and it's just like the whole theme of, you know, those 2 weeks or any time leading up to Christmas is about giving, and I think that's the most important thing of all, is just making sure that everyone feels loved and taken care of, and that's why Christmas is so special.
I have to totally agree with you. You took the words right out of my mouth, my friend. Can't top that.
I'm glad.
And another question here for you as well. I know growing up here in the prairies, we always had like the Christmas shows and everything as well, and like school. Did you ever have any of those?
We did. Like, did you guys do like a Christmas concert every year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I think some of those were always great, and then some of them were traumatizing. I think is the early days I realized I wasn't an actor. That's for sure. But yeah, we something that was super special to me every year is that our church in Ballybro, Ontario would do this thing every year, like, and but it's funny because like the same families would always go to this church over the years, so you'd see everyone that was in and out of that church there the same night, because like you'd go on a regular Sunday and there might be like 20 people in there, and then on Christmas Eve there was like 200. And like I was always down. It's an old like wooden church, and I was like, I really think this is not up to code, but like we're loving it. We're singing carols, and there's like a sermon, and you know, you just feel so happy and light after you walk out of that. Like, just like there's something powerful. I mean, you feel that going to a concert, you feel that going anywhere and singing music in a group with people. And I think that like when we did that as like a community at that church, it just like really put the Christmas spirit in everyone's hearts, and I really loved that as a kid growing up.
Oh, that is such a cool story. Thanks for sharing that with us. Now, we won't keep you here too much longer this holiday season here, Jade. So I wanted to ask you, is there anything you want to say to our listeners in all of the rural communities here in the prairies?
Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I hope that you're having a wonderful time with your family, and really look forward to, you know, going out back to the prairies and playing some shows when the weather's a little warmer. But till then, I guess just enjoy your ham or your turkey, whatever you chose.
Jade, thank you so much for spending a little time with us here, a little country Christmas.
Thanks so much for having me.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming